What is up, everyone? It's Nathan Modern from Canadian Cannabis Society, Modern from Simplify Records, the one and only, back once again with a Relatedness podcast, number 11. Glad we did we got 10 full official episodes out of the way. Thank you so much. Somehow the Egyptian scorpions blew up my last video. I hope everyone in Egypt is doing okay. Today is a sunny day here in Toronto, November 16th. Beautiful day. And guess what? 100 years ago, roughly, in November 14th, 1921, Frederick Banting discovered insulin with 3 other people. He chose a assistant, Banting and Best. Both created insulin, which it has been used for diabetic treatment till this day. Charles Best and Frederick Banting on November 14th, 1921. So huge day today in history for Toronto, and insulin and the whole medical scene. Here's Buddy Boy in his lab, University of Toronto. And it was what's cool about this story is actually the fact that Frederick Banting celebrated his earnings, and so Frederick Banting and the other guy who actually I think donated all the funds for the experiment. They split their earnings with their assistants 50-50. So it's really cool to see how their reward money. It's cool to see it's really cool to see how they shared that. Shout out. So in other news, along the same medical lines, check this out. Global measles outbreak loom after 22 million vaccinations missed during COVID-19 pandemic. CDC says. Is this what measles is supposed to look like? Jesus Christ. So, with an estimated 22 million infants worldwide missing their measles vaccines because of COVID-19, the global health officials are warning that critical steps must be taken to prevent a secondary pandemic. Oh my God. So obviously, getting vaccines around the world was a huge issue in the beginning. Like we saw, it was such a political, it got political with vaccines. It was like some people didn't want to give people vaccines because of certain reasons. And now this whole thing has translated to literally like measles becoming an outbreak. So measles, if you don't know, is like chicken pox, but deadlier. It looks like chicken pox. I don't really want to show what it looks like because it's kind of disturbing. It can be deadly for children because it attacks their immune system, right? For adults, not so much, but oh man, imagine like whole cities walking around with measles. Come on, that's not gonna be good. So that's kind of the state that we're living in. As not to scare anyone, but pandemic numbers seem to be going up as well. Not going to mention any names of any countries because I haven't done the research mostly, and that's why. But in other cool news, a terminally ill man was arrested for mooning a speed camera. Sad. Banksy was like, "What? Mooning a speed camera?" So he made this mural on a wall. That this guy thinks that was inspired by his little charge there. This guy has like a cane, and he mooned a camera, and cops. Wow, Anyways, it reminds me of how when I make weed videos, I instantly become a criminal in like a lot of countries in the world just for smoking or just for like educating people on cannabis. It's definitely interesting. Shout out Banksy. This wall just became worth so much. I wonder if Banksy has any NFTs. Imagine. I hope not. Probably. But I hope not. Who knows? It's so very cool. In other news, a family. This is a picture. This is a really, really hard-hitting picture for everyone who's not tuning in on YouTube. It's a picture of a woman in a car with a child, it looks like, in the front seat, who is, they have blankets in the car, and there's a hand reaching out to inside the car. And so the premise of this story is that a family has been living in their Hyundai to save up for a family home. It's a really intense story. In Pennsylvania, Veronica Vargas and her longtime partner Alex, they live in a car, and they have an 11-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 14-year-old. And they are living in a car. She's very stressed. She's lost 20 pounds because of it. But this is a glimpse into some people's realities. COVID, measles, diabetes aside, you got, there's people aren't even thinking about that. They're saving money. I'm just scrolling through these images. I think the images are more powerful than anything. I can describe it. A woman is standing outside the car. It's after sunset, and she looks stressed underneath. She's looking into her car with a caring look, but stressed look at the same time, because I don't know why. I haven't talked to her. Probably the obvious. A couple more pictures. They have a storage unit, and there's a picture of the son going in a storage unit, and so much respect, to these people for doing what they know how to do. They're saving, right, and they're doing something to save. It's stressful. I've been in similar situations where I moved to Regent Park because it was cheap and it was close to my internship. So, and then you trade your sanity for what? Less money? Like, it's not worth it. Honestly, it's not worth it. But, we tell ourselves certain things. Some things are worth it, you got to eat dirt sometimes to taste the steak. And I hope they will taste the steak. I have faith based off on all the coverage that they're getting. I'm sure there's people who have reached out to these people to help them out. Socially, I'm sure it could be very hard for the children. Kids are cruel. Kids are 200% cruel. I can, easy target, I guess. But I think I remember one time, I heard these kids arguing about who had a bigger elevator in their house, and like the kid who didn't have as big as an elevator, in their house or didn't have an elevator in their house got absolutely shit on, like, by the other people, like, by those other kids, like, called him like a peasant, a poor peasant, you know. And then you have this aggressive mentality. Adults are grown children, okay? So these children are going to grow into adults, and as much as they lose this mentality, I'm sure a lot of people keep it on their innards, subconscious. So honestly, I hope these people have a GoFundMe, and I hope they have some sort of page to help them out. Definitely an intense story. It reminds us all to, you know, not everyone has it as good as us. Life could be better. Life is what we make it. And it should be an inspiration for everyone to push. You know, there's people pushing out there. It's not like she's not working. She looks like she works at Walmart. So let's move on to the I shouldn't laugh. A Chinese tennis player vanishes after accusing former vice premier of sexual abuse. So I'm laughing because Reddit absolutely tore. I don't want to get into it. They were just making a lot of jokes about how she's gonna reappear in a week and apologize. But it's definitely scary, you know. It goes into that like whole, okay, you said something bad about someone on social media, so now you're gone. You know, it's actually, you know, that's happened in Canada, believe it or not. Except it was a little bit. I know someone who sent something to a politician, and the police showed up at their house to take him to a mental hospital. So I wouldn't fuck around with threatening the power of politicians, because they are this is ultimately a fear of anyone who is in power, who is corrupt, who has the ability to take advantage of the power in crazy ways. Definitely is going to exercise that in ways that we can't even imagine. And I just hope she's okay. I hope she's okay. Peng Shui is a former champion on the clay of Roland Garros in a tennis match. Yeah. I just want everyone to be safe. I just want to send positive vibes. Interesting, you know, it's kind of mysterious. The mystery is definitely something to be thought of. Black Mirror vibes. And with that, I want to leave you with me saying have an amazing day. I hope you have a great time. I hope you enjoyed. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. And, you know, follow me. Follow me on everywhere. You know what to do. Or if you don't, just go on Patreon and sign up for the Patreon. Help support the cause. You know what I mean? It's the least that you can do for sitting there until this point. Wow. All right, I love y'all. Until next time. Peace.